Alright guys, so it's been a couple months since my last video on my Staccato HD. It's time for an update. I'm just at about 1,500 rounds or so approximately through this thing. I don't think I mentioned this in the first video, but I'm going to be shooting this thing without cleaning it until it fails. So I want to see how many rounds I can get out of the gun before malfunctions start happening, or it just ends up not being like optimal to use. So I mean, so far there hasn't been any issues. I've had 2 malfunctions total, and those were not because of the gun, they were because of my magazines. So I have 2 magazines that have, they're just normal Glock magazines, but they have the Terran Tactical +5 base plates on them. Those mads are pretty old. I've used and reused those things for quite a while out here on the range, so those springs are starting to get pretty weak. And so on both occasions, one was at a match. I believe I have that footage in the first video. I can't remember. If not, I'll play it right now. But first one was at a match. Second one was the weekend after that match. It was the same exact round in the magazine. It was the second to last round. Now, additionally, the sort of recoil impulse of it, it feels like it's getting softer as I break in the recoil spring. Now, I do want to replace this recoil spring eventually. I just don't know how that's going to work, because I know a lot of the stuff inside this gun is like completely new. And so I don't know how it's going to work with that little buffer, if other companies are going to make them with the buffer on there, or if that's interchangeable. If you know, let me know down in the comments, because that's something I want to do. I want to make this thing shoot just a little bit softer. And, you know, it's not a huge, like, noticeable difference, but I do notice that even when I'm like consciously trying to think about it, when I'm shooting, there is a little bit of muzzle dip out in recoil. So, you know, when the recoil goes up, it does dip down just a little bit. And I know I can kind of alleviate that if I were to lighten out the recoil spring in here. So if you know anything about that, or how to do that, or if any companies make recoil springs for this thing, let me know down in the comments, because that's one thing I want to do to this. Now, my only major gripe about this gun, and I think I mentioned it in the first video, I'll mention it again, is the takedown of this thing is just a pain in the ass. Because I'm not cleaning it, I don't have to do it a lot, but you know, you have to pull the slide back and hold it right here so that the pin lines up. And then if you notice on this side, on the slide stop, the little rectangular piece sort of right there, that's what's holding the pin in, and you have to like just jimmy it out, and it is just a pain in the ass. I don't know what they could do to fix that, or if there's any easier way. Maybe it'd be cool if somebody could make, you know, a 3D printed little, almost imagine like a chamber flap that you could just stick in here and it'll hold the slide open for you, so you can use your right hand to help you maybe push that side out. But yeah, I mean, it really is just a pain in the ass to take this thing apart. That's my only real, like, gripe about this gun so far. Okay, so I managed to get it out. You can see kind of how this thing goes. That little end piece is what just feeds into that little hole right there. So just wanted to take this guy apart, kind of show you what it's looking like on the inside. I don't know if it's going to show very well, but got a little bit of carbon buildup on the rails there. Quite a lot, actually, right inside of here. Doesn't seem to be affecting the performance at all. And then, before I take this apart, you can kind of see how all that stuff looks. The buffer here, I mean, it's holding up. I was kind of wondering how long this thing would last, because it just feels like a piece of plastic. So with the constant slide reciprocation and it just bumping into metal. I was wondering how long that thing would last, and there doesn't really seem to be any real wear on that guy. Let's take out this. Got some carbon buildup here on the end. Nothing too crazy. Everything's kind of wearing in nicely. Come on. Take out the barrel. The barrel, that's just a little bit of carbon here. Built up right here. Feed ramp and chamber. Nothing too crazy going on. I mean, there's carbon, but it's not really worn down too bad. And then I don't know how I'm gonna be able to show this, but the reach there where the firing pin is, I don't know if it's in a focus, but yeah, everything's looking good. Extractor's looking good. Nothing real crazy going on with it. We'll try to show you here on, oh, please focus. I think that's the best I'm gonna be able to get, but the front sight post there is actually catching carbon, so I have the optic occluded with some electrical tape because that's how I want to shoot it. But the the rear sight post is definitely catching carbon for the optic, so that's cool. That's something that they advertised was like a feature of the gun, and seems to be working as intended. Now, one little thing that kind of helped me with putting it back together is when you get everything together and you have the slide on, you just haven't put the little slide stop back in. If you look through the hole right here, you'll obviously see the light at the back, but it's easier to get the pin in it with the slide just kind of resting in its normal place. So you might have to add just a little bit of back pressure and just kind of jimmy it in. Yep, just a little bit of back pressure, and then once it starts going in, you can pull it back to line up the hole and snap it in. Initially I was trying to like pull the slide all the way back and then put it in. It wasn't working because of the way that forgive me, I don't know what it's called, but the piece on the barrel that has the hole through it, the way that thing moves back and forth when you pull the slide back, the spring tension pushes it out of alignment. So you know, just rookie 2011 things. Additionally, I got pretty scared one of the times I was taking it apart. I was trying to show some friends of mine the like how this thing comes apart and stuff, and when I took it apart, showed them, tried to put it back together, and the slide would not go back, and I'm like, what the hell, like what is going on? Again, just new 2011 owner things. It's because of this thing right here, this little piece sticking up. Forgive me, I'm not a gunsmith. I don't know what that thing is, but you just have to push that little guy down and the slide will go right on just fine. So last thing, and I'll close this guy out. That hot spot that people are talking about here at the back, I did notice that when I first got the gun, but as I've shot it more, you know, you can still feel like there's pressure, but it doesn't bother me anymore. You don't even notice it while you're shooting, really. So that's just kind of a growing pain, I guess, with the gun. But other than that, it's been fine. So yeah, I've enjoyed shooting the HD for the time that I've had it. I don't have a crazy amount of rounds through it, but you know, 1,500 rounds is a good enough gauge for me to determine like if I like the gun, if I don't. And you know, I probably won't make another video on this thing, like just specifically talking about the gun, until I have a failure of some kind. So I'm going to keep documenting all the rounds that I shoot through it. And eventually, when I do have some sort of malfunction, I'll make another video. If it's something worth making a video on, if it's just one stovepipe, I probably won't. I'll probably just make a little Instagram post about it. So go follow me on Instagram. That'll be down in the description below. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions about this thing, how I've liked it, all that sort of stuff. And yeah, thanks for watching the video. Have a good day.